Are you sick and tired of not making progress when it comes to losing fat? Well, you're in the right place. You are about to watch a webinar that I did for our personal training clients to show them how to unlock the secrets for more and sustainable fat loss. So enjoy. So let's get rolling. So why are you in the right place right now? So I'm gonna I'm gonna show some pictures and embarrassing stories to show you why you're in the right place here. So I'm actually gonna be using myself as a guinea pig here so you guys can understand that I do get how you guys feel. So just bear in mind with me here, all right? This is not easy for me to do as if it would any of you. So this is me when I'm a kid, all right? So this is me as a little kid. I think I don't know, my confirmation I was celebrating here. So I'm not sure how old I was here, but as you can see, I kind of highlighted it. I was super skinny growing up, like super skinny, like skin and bones. And I hated it. I was so uncomfortable in my clothes. I hated the way things looked. So I always used to wear two shirts. Not even kidding, two shirts everywhere I went. So here you can see I'm wearing two shirts. And I would wear super baggy clothes to try to hide how I looked all the time. It was just not fun. And I know some people always tell me, and I've heard this comment all the time, like, oh, you should be happy you're just skinny and not the other way around. But it's definitely worse to be that skinny because you just feel so self-conscious, like worse than ever, I think. So again, this is me still like starting to work out. So I had bought an Arnold book when I was a kid. And if you look in the background, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse, but you see like a little bench. So I bought a bench. I started working out in my house. So this was like me starting to work out. And there's a little bit more of a change from here to there, but still not exactly where I needed to go. But this is kind of giving you guys an idea of my journey and how I got on this path with you guys here today and how we are where we are today. So from in a way, I'm grateful that I was this skinny and this embarrassed because it allows me to understand how everyone feels. And I have literally tried everything. And you guys will see when I explain my story to you guys how I have tried everything to get to where I wanted to go and to get to my goals. So now this was me after a couple of years of working out. Now, I had told this story in the beginning, and don't mind the picture, but in the beginning, I thought if I just ate healthy, I was going to get in good shape. That's what I thought. I thought instantly, okay, I'm just going to, put on a ton of muscle if I just ate healthy, right? But the fact of the matter is that didn't happen. I actually didn't get any results. In fact, I was getting worse results. I was getting what I call skinny fat. That's where I kind of coined that term from. So as you can see, there's like a little bit of muscle thing going on, but I was so skinny. So it's like there was nothing much else to me. It was just there. But I was still fat. Like if you look at my stomach, like it's still like there was no like it's like blah. And I was not happy with myself. And again, I was working out hard. Like I was going to the gym. At this stage, I was probably going 5, 6 days a week, and nothing was happening. And I was a kid. So I would bike to the gym, work out for hours, bike home. So I was active, I was playing sports, I was doing all these things, and I just wasn't getting anywhere. So again, I'm in my boxers here. This is in the gym. My friend took this picture. But again, you could see like skinny fat. Like look, like yeah, there's like a little dots of muscle here, but it's just like it's still fat. It's still like love handles and like no muscle and really embarrassing actually that I keep looking at these pictures. But I and that I have them, but I'm grateful that I do have them so I could share them with you guys to let you know where I am at in my journey so you guys understand a little bit more about where I'm coming from with this. And again, when I tell you guys I've tried everything, I have tried everything, program after program, and I kept track of everything. This was me, I was young, I was probably like 16 here, but you could see of my week one, my boxers or shorts, whatever I'm wearing. But I bought a Bowflex. You can see like the little Bowflex next to me. There's like a little muscle sign in the background. Like I'm trying to learn, I'm trying to understand all these things, but nothing's happening. And I'm so frustrated because I'm trying hard and no changes. It's super frustrating at this point. And again, I'm young, but I'm still going through it, right? So again, a little older now. Here I am. This is probably, I don't know. I don't even know how old I was here, but a little bit older than that point, right? Maybe 19, 18 here, something like that. So I started to gain a little bit of muscle. Again, you could see, but still skinny fat. Like you look, I wish I could draw on this, but you can see like my stomach definition, there's nothing. It's like a little bit of muscle, but not much more than what I had, 2 years ago. So I had spent probably about the first 3 to 5 years just spinning my wheels, not getting anywhere, just like on this vicious cycle of starting. All right, I'm going to eat super healthy. I'm just going to eat grilled chicken and vegetables or whatever. And then I would get frustrated because nothing would happen and I would binge and I would eat chips and eat this. Or so then I would start a different program and I would start a different workout routine. But again, it was just this cycle of this going on and on and on. And it was frustrating. Now, again, moving on a couple years later, I decided to compete, right? So I would relate this as somebody who got a personal trainer. They went to like a random personal trainer. So one of my buddies in the gym was a bodybuilder. So he kind of like, I asked him, I said, I really want to compete. Can you show me what to do? So he gave me a meal plan. And on this meal plan, it was literally chicken, vegetables. That was the meal plan. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get super ripped and do this competition and have all this muscle and blah, blah, blah. I was still young here, right? A couple of years passed from this picture, maybe like a year or two. So I did get like in better shape. Like you can see, like I lost more significant body fat. Like you see, but again, it's just not where I wanted to be. And again, super frustrating. So from here, the story here is in this picture, again, just protein, just carbs, like no cheating, doing 2 hours of cardio a day to get like this lean. It was not a fun experience at all. Now, when this was for my first bodybuilding contest. The trophy is actually up in Massapequa. It's in the gym. So I did come in fourth, so I did pretty well. But the thing with this was that weekend, so the contest was on a Saturday. By Monday morning, I was 20 pounds heavier. How did I get 20 pounds heavier from Saturday to Monday? Because I binged like crazy. So this definition, all this was gone. I ate myself to the point because I was so restricted on this meal plan. I ate myself to the point of almost puking and almost throwing up. I don't know if Laura remembers that, but we went out to eat one day, like that Sunday. So like that afternoon, the next like whatever day, and we're at the table, and I had eaten everything, like cereal, like you name it, I ate it, and I never liked that stuff, and I was going crazy eating all that. So we were at the table at dinner, and I think we were at an Italian restaurant because again, Italian food's not on a meal plan, right? Like one of those healthy eating meal plans. So I'm at the table, I'm eating chicken parm, which I haven't touched chicken parm in like 16 weeks. And I almost puked at the table. That's how sick I got from overeating. And that Monday, I was 20 pounds heavier. And all my hard work for that 12 weeks was gone. So not fun, not a fun experience. So fast forward a couple of years later, now at this point, I should go back a second. So this picture right here on the right side got me, this is what led me down the road to going to school for nutrition. Because again, at this point, I was still like in college, didn't really know what to do. I was a trainer already at this point, but this is when I really took it seriously. So I had asked the guy that was training me, like helping me, whatever you want to call it. I had asked him, I said, because he told me to have like rice one day. He's like, oh, have rice or have a sweet potato for lunch or whatever. It was like there was no rhyme or reason behind this plan that he gave me. So I asked him, I said, I really don't like rice. Can I have a potato instead? He's like, no potato. You can't have that. Or it was the other way around. I forget it. He told me to eat sweet potato. I didn't want sweet potato. I wanted the rice. And he's like, no. But I'm like, but they're the same calories. He's like, no, you can't do that. The sweet potato will fill you out, meaning that it'll make your muscles look bigger. I'm sitting there and I'm like, that can't be true. How is that possible? There's no such thing as magical foods. But I'm very grateful for that because that led me to go to school for nutrition to really, really understand how this whole process works and how the body absorbs food. Is there such thing as a magical food? Do you have to eat protein every 3 hours? So fast forward a couple years later now, at this point, I was running the Gold's Gym that I was running. So I had just graduated from college. So I had taken all that nutritional knowledge, and you could see the tremendous difference in my physique here versus here, right? Big difference here. I'm 10 times leaner here. I have way more muscle mass here. But again, it's just applying that stuff that I actually learned when I did this, like I actually understood at this point, okay, there's no such thing as magical foods. Your body just sees protein, carbs, and fat, and a bunch of other things that I'm going to explain to you guys today. So I made more progress. I finally started making more progress. And again, fast forward another year or so later, this is like, at this point, I had started AB Fitness in my garage. But you could see, again, significant difference in definition. I can't really see muscle mass, but I had just won a competition here. So that's the little medal on my neck there. Typical bathroom selfie after you win, right? Again, fast forward again, probably another year later, putting on muscle, changing my physique. That's my daughter. My daughter was growing. This is when she was a baby, so it was a couple of years ago. But again, you could see significant difference in my arms and the way I look. Applying that information and just keep doing it over time and over time and over time really leads to significant difference in the way your physique looks constantly. And then fast forward to today, this was a messy hair photo because I needed one here, but you get the idea, right? Like significant difference from my starting position to where I am now. But the thing that I'm the most proud of, and again, I show you this stuff not to like brag about like how I look or anything like that. Like I never ever, you guys can keep scrolling through on Instagram. You'll never see shirtless selfies of me online. It never ever was about me. When I first became a personal trainer, I always focused on my clients. I never ever showed pictures of me. But I wanted to show you guys my journey to let you know that I've had my ups and downs in this journey too. And I had to figure it out. I had to go through. And this was before any fancy apps. I was literally taking paper and pen and writing chicken, 100 calories, protein, like write it out. There was no apps then. And this is how I was able to learn, and I'm able to teach you guys this stuff today. But the thing that I am the most proud of, it's not my abs, it's not the way my arms look now, it is this. This was my son. They did like something at school that said something like, oh, what do you want to do when you get older? And my son made this poster, like they had to make posters of what they wanted to be. Kids were picking doctors, vets, all this stuff. And there's my son. When I grow up, I want to be a bodybuilder, but I don't want him to be a bodybuilder. But it's just nice to know that my kids pay attention to the things that I do. So it's nice to inspire the next generation so that they don't have to struggle the way I did. So that is my goal. This is kind of like my journey here. So I wanted to share that with you. So now, what does this all mean for you guys, right? So the extensions of me is the staff, right? Each one of your AB Fitness staff is nationally accredited personal trainers. Our trainers go through an in-depth 6 weeks to 12-week internship process with me where I literally take them and take all those 20 plus years of knowledge and cram it down their throats. They will all tell you how much they are sick and tired of listening to me. But again, they're extensions of me. We have weekly trainings, daily huddles, seminars that we constantly go into to further educate them. I call it AB Fitness University. So that's me, the octopus. And then I have my extensions of me, Laura, Brianna, Greg, Joe, and our new guy, Mike. So again, I take all that knowledge in that big octopus brain and I just shove it out to those guys. So anytime you deal with them, you deal with me. So what is possible with all this stuff that I just told you? I just showed you pictures of me like as a skinny, fat kid. And then I showed you pictures of me now, my son. But what's possible, right? All of these transformations have occurred underneath our nose. Some of these people are on here right now. And anything is possible when you go through the process that we're going to go through, right? Like Brianna is a perfect example of this. You guys see her in the gym constantly, and you see her transformation every day. Again, Amy, like all these people are, some of them are probably on here. Again, just more. Anything is possible because I've went through all these things. I know what doesn't work. I know why they don't work. I know what works best. I know how to break plateaus. Like a perfect example here is John. John went through a very similar transformation to me. He was very, very skinny. So we bulked him up. And again, he was kind of getting a little chubby here. So we took him from that bulked up state and dieted him down. So it's possible. Same thing with Faith here. Couldn't lose body fat. We changed everything, got her to understand why she wasn't losing and started losing. So, all this is here for you guys. So this is what's possible. So after 20 years, I discovered the hard way to do everything, right? The hard way to do it. It's not fun. Believe me, I don't understand why this is not working. This is frustrating. And for those of you that know me, know I love chips. So it was a lot of nights of just sitting there with the chips in my hand, like, why is this not working? Same thing like right here, the excuses a lot of you guys give. I got super frustrated and I ate the chips. Or the chips were there, so I ate them. Like, that's my thing. So after 20 years of sitting there, having my nights with my chips, I discovered the hard way. But you guys get to cheat and you guys get the easy way because you can avoid all those things and all those mistakes that I made. So this is a real thing. This was on Amazon. So it's almost like you guys are going to be putting on the muscle suit. That's how easy we make it for you guys to do this. All right. And yes, this is a real thing. Whatever. All right. So what's the agenda for tonight? Let's get rolling and talk about you guys. Enough about me and skinny fat pictures of me in my boxes here. So in the next 60 minutes or so, I'm going to show you the exact strategy on how to finally get in shape without gimmicks or anything like that. All right. We're going to be discussing what's called the hero's journey. If you don't know what that means, don't worry. I'm going to get to it. Why you are already at a disadvantage. The 3 roadblocks you're going to need to overcome to get success. How often you should actually make changes to your program. And then I'm going to give you some bonus protein stuff, a free gift. And then I have a special offer for just 10 of you tonight on here who are joining me on here. But before we get started, there are 3 rules before we actually begin. So rule number 1, and Nancy, I'm going to need you to thumbs up or whatever you want to give me here. So rule number 1 is I promise on this to give you guys 110%. So is it okay if I give you guys 110%? The thumbs should be going up. All right. Rule number 2, this is going to be an interactive presentation, meaning that the more feedback I get, the more I can give to you guys. Okay. So fair enough. If you guys have a question, just hold the questions to the end, but you guys can type them in the chat. Laura is monitoring the chat, so you guys can type it in there. So fair? Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, cool. And rule number 3, the most important rule here is, I know there's distractions all around us, but what I'm about to share with you can dramatically change your life. My son's making posters of him wanting to be a bodybuilder because of me. So this can honestly change your life and the trajectory of your life. If I wasn't such a skinny kid growing up, we all wouldn't be here right now. So when I say it can change your life, it can change everything. I say this every time, and it gets me a little emotional, but I owe everything in my life to fitness, everything. And I only wish that I can bless you guys with that same thing. All right. So anyway, this stuff can change your life. So please make the commitment to me to be completely focused during this seminar. So no TikTok, no Facebook, don't check your email, go into another room, make sure it's quiet, and really pay attention to this stuff, okay? So complete attention from everybody. Fair enough? Thumbs up, thumbs up. All right, cool. Let's get this started. So, and again, if you stay to the end, I have a free gift for you here. It's a restaurant ordering system, which I created for you guys, but you'll get that at the end as long as you stay put. All right, so let's get rolling with this. So there's 3 secrets to reaching your goals. All right, so before we get started, these are not our clients. That's Chris Pratt. That's, I forget what, AC Slater. That's all I know him. What's his name? Mario
Lopez.
Yeah, thank you. And then there's just some random people I found here. But when we talk about goals, right? Like I showed pictures of me and, being skinny and wanting to gain muscle and changing my body and blah, blah, blah. To show you guys like, hey, I don't have the best genetics in the world and I had to fight every day to get to where I am today. But when I talk about goals, it's not just about how you look. It's about the things that you're going to be able to do. Are you going to be able to keep up with the kids? Are you going to be able to do the things like this lady's like kayaking? Like if you have an aspiration to do things like that, those are the goals. Like we have to think way beyond just our waistline. Like, maybe you want to wear a 2-piece when you go to the beach or on vacation, or, maybe you want to be able to keep up with the kids or go mountain climbing. I don't know. Whatever your goals and aspirations are in life, this is the secrets to reaching that. The physique stuff is just a plus that happens along the way. So like I said, like I didn't mean to inspire my son to be a bodybuilder, and I would yell at him if he actually wanted to be a bodybuilder because I wanted to be more than a bodybuilder. But the fact that he notices those things is cool. Like, and it's a good thing that I'm able to help him. But I'm a dad. I'm a young, active dad with him. I play sports with him. I run around with my kids. I'm like a big kid with them, and that's because fitness is able to keep me young and able to do these things that I might not always be able to do. So the goal is to fight the aging process the entire time. And some people who are on here right now have probably experienced that. They've lost a bunch of body fat, bunch of weight, and now they're able to do way more with their kids. Like that's the goal. I mean, you know, I want you guys to take 2 minutes right now and just seriously think about, aside from how you look, right? Because that's just, like I said, that's the plus that comes, right? That comes with it. But aside from that stuff, what is it that you actually want? What is the goal? Do you want to wear a bathing suit again without a shirt on? Do you want to wear a two-piece bathing suit? Do you want to go skydiving? Do you want to have more energy? Like those are the most important goals. Do you want to be more flexible? Do you want to be stronger? Do you want to be able to wrestle with your kids? Like think about those goals. Take a minute, think about them. If you have paper and pen, write them down. Because those are the things that are going to motivate you when you don't want to do it. Like I said, I'll talk about me again. I was so self-conscious of being skinny. And I just didn't want to feel that way anymore. And I never want to feel that way again. So for me, my motivation to do this every single day is that picture of me cutting the cake as a kid with the little arms and the baggy shirt and the 2 t-shirts to hide everything because I was skin and bone. So what's that motivation to you? So hopefully you wrote that down. If you wrote that down, highlight it, circle it, because that's going to be the thing that's going to keep you moving. All right. So let's talk about the hero's journey. So what the hero's journey is, if those of you who know or don't know what this is, the hero's journey is basically the blueprint for every movie possible. So every movie possible follows what's called the hero's journey. So, come on. All right, here we go. So this is the hero's journey. So the hero's there, they call to adventure, they go through some type of struggle, they go through different challenges, they have some type of revelation or their rebirth, they transform themselves, and they get to their goal. That's the hero's journey, right? That's every movie possible. Think about it. The Lion King. I just random one. I don't know where that came from, but The Lion King. Okay, The Lion King. Simba's dad dies, right? There's his big challenge. You know, then he has to go live in the forest with Puma and Timon and whatever. And he goes through all those challenges. Then he comes back to fight the other guy, and he wins, and he becomes the king again. And then he has a baby. And again, you could apply this to any movie, right? Why is this important to you? Well, it's very similar to your journey. Step one, you start off sick of how you feel. And again, using me as an example, I'm sick of being skinny. Sick of being skinny. Couldn't take it anymore. Hated that I had to wear 2 shirts. Hated wearing a t-shirt in the pool. So take whatever you wrote down before and you're going to insert it there. That's your motivation to get started. So 2, you would start some random program. I'm sure some of you are guilty of this. You'd start some random program. Insert whatever you want to insert here. Keto diet, Atkins, Orange Theory, this, that, and the other thing. You start a random program, right? You face challenges and you fail. Again, talking about myself. I just did like random routines. Like I find a routine in a magazine and I do that for like whatever, a couple of weeks, and it wouldn't work. And then I get frustrated. I binge like crazy, eat a bunch of chips, and then I go through this vicious cycle. Find something else, start that. That doesn't work, go back. And we can insert other people in here. People start all the time. Okay, I'm going to join the gym. They join the gym. They don't like something at the gym. They cancel it. They stop and they get frustrated. And it starts all over again, cycle. They go to F45. They don't get results. They're frustrated. They don't understand why. And back and forth and back and forth. You get stuck in that zone. Starting, stopping, starting, stopping, starting, stopping. You can't get here. You can't get to the other side of transformation, right? You're just stuck and you're not sure why. I don't get it. Why is this not happening? So we're going to pretend, and most of you know this already, but one of my favorite movies is Rocky. So we're going to pretend that in this situation, you're like Rocky, right? You're a guy who's hustling just to have a shot, someone who works really hard and just wants a chance to prove himself, to show that he's better than he thinks he is, right? Everybody calls him a bum. Not that you guys are bums, but you get the idea, right? People call him a bum. So we have to, he wants to not be called a bum. He wants to prove himself. So this could be you. I mean, insert whatever you want to insert here. So this is you, right? And then insert whatever your goal is to get to, the one that we circled earlier. So you get a shot, right? You find a program. Now you're doing this program and you're just getting, this is the world champion. The world champ is just smashing you in the face. That's you, right? But what's actually hitting you? What are you fighting against here? Life, other programs, distractions, time, all stuff you can't control, right? And you're just getting pummeled. And think about it, it happens all the time. We could take a step back. I'm trying to think of excuses that we get, because we get a lot of them, but oh, I'm busy at work, or oh, I had a busy weekend, the kids and sports and this and that. So there's always going to be something that's going to be punching you in the face, right? Mike Tyson's famous quote, everybody has a plan till they get punched in the face, kind of thing, right? But it's true. There's always going to be things that come up. But there's always things that come up in other people's lives too, who have what you want. So what's your excuse? I have the same distractions. My kids play sports. My kids are at school, my business. I could go on and rattle off all of these. When I was a personal trainer and I started, I was a young kid. I was 17, 18 years old and started training people. I mean, 40, 50-year-old adults at 18. So I would, tell them, oh, well, did you follow the food plan that I gave you? Oh, it's too hard. You'll see when you get older. And now I'm the same age as them, and what was their excuse then, right? So anyway, this is happening to you. You're getting punched in the face by life, and it's just giving you a pounding. So that's you sitting there all beat up, all bruised. But the good thing is, and this is part of the hero's journey when you do it the right way, is you have AB Fitness in your corner. Now, for those of you who watched Rocky, you know who Mickey is. Mickey was Rocky's trainer. He basically coached him. He showed him what to do. Hey, slip the jab, all those other things when it comes to Rocky fighting in the sports, but in boxing. But that's us. We're sitting here, we're coaching you. All right, this is not working for me. This is not okay. Do this instead. Do that instead. Try this. Wait another week. Let's not change anything yet. Let's change something. Have a little more protein. Stop having so much fat. Cut back on this. This is us giving you, coaching you. And this is the difference in the hero's journey, is having somebody in that corner to coach you, because then you're able to win and you're able to have your goals. But the better thing, besides getting to your goals, is inspiring the new generation. So what's this picture? For those of you that don't know, Creed is the spin-off of Rocky, and he's basically Apollo Creed's son. And they went on to make there's like another franchise starting with Creed. But again, inspire others around you. There's some, Amy and Jeremy are on here right now. I believe they are. And their whole family has changed because they decided to take action. And they had Mickey or us in their corner, coaching them and telling them what to do, inspiring a whole different generation. Their kids are never going to have those issues that they had. How great of a feeling is that? So this is the hero's journey, and you can plug yourself into it. But in order to get to the other side of your goals, you got to have the Mickey in your corner, teaching you and telling you when to do some of these things. All right, so overcome number one. What workouts should I do? Right? People get confused on what they need to be doing. Which workout should I be doing? For those of you that come to us, you know already what to do because we have it all laid out for you. But people are confused. They don't know. We talk to people all the time. So, you ask people, okay, well, what are you doing right now to get to your goals workout-wise? Oh, I have weights in my house and I work out at home. And this is literally what they do, right? That's not enough to get you to where you got to go. We did that during the 2021 when everyone else was stuck inside. That was a little different because you had to do what you had to do. But aside from that, this is not going to get you to where you need to go. So what workouts should you be doing, right? What's do you need to be doing this program or that program, or shiny object syndrome. Your friend comes to you and says, hey, I started doing this. You know, you should do that too because I lost 20 pounds doing that, right? So what should you be doing? So the secret number one here is the hack for success. And that is the difference between training and working out. Now, for those of you that might not sound like much, like what does that mean? Like if I'm working out, aren't I training? But no, there's a very, very different thing with each one of those, right? So what does that mean? Working out is just random workouts, random things. There's no direction. There's like, you're not trying to get better. You're just, okay, I'm working out just to work out. You're just checking the box. So maybe you do, one day you do, I don't know, P90X one day, another day you go to the gym, another day you go to F45. Like, yes, you're active, right? You're doing these things, but that's working out. There's no feedback or no way to measure improvement. But when you're training, right, it's a carefully built out program to good form and exercise execution. The training program has a specific goal that is moving you in the direction that you need to go. There's a specific plan for every workout. So every workout you need to do X, or every workout X happens. Okay, and there's constant feedback when you're training. We have our app and the trainers in the gym that constantly give you the feedback so we can tweak things to get you moving in the right direction. Everything that we do is for a reason. So I'll put this in an example again. If I go back to my pictures earlier on, in the beginning, I was just working out. I randomly do some barbell stuff with my little bench. I would do the Bowflex workout. I would go to the gym. Like it was all random. There was no rhyme or reason behind it. And then if I fast forward to after I did my first show and I started understanding this, I started planning out my workout routines. All right, this workout has a reason why I'm doing it. And every one of those, and you saw the difference in my physique every single time because I got better at properly planning my training. So more training equals better, faster, and safer results for you. So hopefully that makes sense. All right, so again, we make this very simple for you guys. We create the workout, you show up, we track everything. But we track everything through our app, right? We tried with you guys, and some of you who are OGs, who've been with us for a while, know this. We tried giving you guys clipboards. I don't know if any of you are in here remember the clipboards, but we tried giving you guys clipboards to write out your workout. We tried keeping a folder for every person. Wasn't working. We tried giving journals out to people. Wasn't working. So we invested in tech and we put our workout on tech. And this is finally the one thing that has gotten everybody to actually begin training the right way, because now we're able to keep track of their weights. Literally, like we said, you start the workout, plug in your weights. We know what you did and we can craft better programs for you because of that. Kind of what I just said here, your custom program is built on our app so we can track your progress and make educated decisions based on your progress. And again, like I said, we could plan out future trainings to make it better and get you better results faster. No guessing. And that's the main thing, is you never want to be guessing. If you're asking yourself, like if you were to go into AB Fitness right now, well, no one would be there right now because everyone's on here, but if you were to go in there tomorrow and ask Brianna or Greg or Laura or anything, hey, why are we doing this chest workout? What in this workout are we doing? Why are we doing this bench press here? We have the answer to tell you. Whereas if you go to other places or other gyms or CrossFit or this or that, it's random. Like they can't answer that question. We can. And you never want to be guessing. You never want to put yourself in a place where you feel like this doesn't make sense why I'm doing this. You never want to be guessing. All right. So overcome number two. This is the one that I see all the time. I need to do cardio. People will argue with me constantly about cardio. Oh, I know, I just need to do cardio. My body's different. I need cardio. No, you don't need cardio. You're not a special snowflake. No one is. Your body doesn't defy the law of thermodynamics. You don't need to do cardio to get results. It's just that simple. But I'm going to explain this in a second. So if we go back again to my pictures, I probably should have flashed my embarrassing pictures here. But my first contest, I lost a lot of muscle. I took my body fat and all that stuff, the charts and everything. But I lost a lot of muscle my first contest because I dieted too severely, meaning I just ate healthy and eat very low calorie, like a lot of people do in the beginning. They just want to eat healthy and they think that they need to eat 1,000 calories every day. I did that, and I was doing cardio for 2 hours every day. Brutal, 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 brutal. I got to where I got to go, but it was brutal. But again, cardio is not necessary, and I'm going to explain. So cardio isn't the answer. It just says that. Just said that. So let's talk about the formula for actually getting to where you got to go. So 70% of your results are going to come from your nutrition. 70. That's huge. That's a big, big number. But unfortunately, I didn't write how any of this is supposed to go. This is just what your body does, and I know how to break the rules and get you better results. So it's not like, I wish it was the other way around. I wish it was the more you worked out, the better your results were, because I would be in probably a lot better shape. But and probably with a lot of other people too. I wish it was that easy. And like I said, I wish it was that easy in the beginning, where if I just ate protein and worked out, I would change the way I look, but it didn't, right? So 70% is going to come from your diet. 28% of it is going to come from lifting weights, which is not lifting weights in your house or doing Zumba. This is actually progressive strength training, bench press, squats, deadlifts, those types of movements. And the cardio only makes up 2%. Cardio is very, very good for your heart, lungs, and all that stuff. I'm not trying to disagree with that. But if you do lifting correctly, if you do, most of you guys on here are clients, but if you guys did the workout that I put together last month, where the reps on legs were like 25 reps on squats and this and that, that's like cardio. Your heart is pumping when you do stuff like that. But so there's ways around training your heart and all that other stuff to get the benefits of cardio in it. There's ways around it. You don't have to glue yourself to an elliptical, a Peloton, or all those other things. So this is the formula for success, whether you like it or not, right? That is the formula. That's what your body sees. So like I said, 70% will come from your nutrition. So in order to lose body fat and tone up, we got to pay attention to your diet. Cardio, when you do cardio, you just burn calories. So you're not actually getting to the root of the problem, which I'm going to talk about in a minute. I don't want to jump ahead here. But when you do a lot of cardio, it increases what's called cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone in your body. When cortisol levels are high, it actually signals to your body to, one, make you hungry, and two, to break down muscle. So if you break down muscle, you're going to be less lean. And the next point is increased cardio increases hunger, which causes you to eat more calories, which is exactly what happened to me at the end of my first contest, because I restricted myself so much, I did so much, and I literally ate to the point of throwing up. So that's not good. Muscle is the only thing that burns fat. Muscle is the only thing that changes your metabolism. So muscle is metabolic currency. So you need to get into the gym and make a deposit today. So if you want to have a better metabolism as you age, as you get older, if you want to speed up your metabolism, fix things, you have to make deposits in the metabolism bank. And you do that by weight training and lifting weights. Too much cardio burns muscle. Less muscle equals a slower metabolism. I've explained this 100 times, but repetition is the mother of success. So this is the formula to change things permanently. So we got to weight train, kind of what I just said. We got to get to the root of the problem. We got to lift weights. And when I say lift weights, again, I'm not talking about the little blue dumbbells. I'm talking about challenging yourself and pushing yourself to new levels. If you worked out with just the barbell today and you did like the barbell and a little bit of weight the next time, you have literally forced progress to your body. Your body has to respond to that. But if you just randomly work out in your house with the blue dumbbells, yeah, you might sweat. Yeah, you're working out, but that's not training. Training is when you're actually consistently adding to the bar and building that up and up and up. And, this is like in the beginning, if I went back to my original pictures, like I first started working out, I couldn't even squat 100 pounds. When I won the competition, I squatted close to 600. It took me a lot of time to get there, but my body had to change to get there. And I'm not saying you have to squat 600 pounds, but some of the most successful clients on here, and one of them comes to mind, is Anna. Anna first started, she couldn't even pick up the trap bar off the floor. That's how little muscle she had. Now she's doing over her body weight on the trap bar. And her body had to change to compensate for that. So that's what I'm talking about. Again, it's if you have an injury or things like that and you're worried about like lifting weights and stuff, these are all things that we can work around, and every person is literally different. So as long as you're able to push yourself and train correctly, building up over time, you're going to change things. So now by doing that, we're adding this to the way our metabolism works. When we put on muscle mass, our body changes. It changes the way we digest foods. It literally handles everything that we do differently. So when we put muscle on, our bodies change the way we digest foods. Most of it goes toward building muscle now, and it speeds up your metabolic rate, meaning that you're burning more calories at rest. So the more muscle you have, the faster your metabolism is going to be. So hopefully that makes sense. It changes the way your body handles food, and it changes how many resting calories you're burning. So muscle is very important. If you just say, oh, okay, and I've heard this one before too, which always makes me laugh, is, oh, I want to lose weight, so I'm just going to do a bunch of cardio so I could just lose the weight first, and then I'll go to the gym. That's a recipe for disaster, because if you do cardio like that, you're just going to burn off the muscle. You're going to start with less of a metabolism and a slower metabolism, and it's not going to be good. So when you combine all these things together, this is when you actually achieve the lean results that you want and the body that you want, and then that goal that we circled earlier. All right, so again, this is a perfect analogy for all this. You want to work smart. You don't just want to work hard and, just, oh, I did this. I showed you guys the pictures. I was working hard. I was going to the gym 6 days a week. I was doing all this cardio and all this other stuff, and it was getting me nowhere. And I was this guy right here, the middle guy, hustling too hard, just swinging away, trying to get to where I got to go. I was at the verge where this lady was of giving up. Like, this is frustrating. Why am I wasting my time doing this? Like, I was constantly like, this guy's sitting here telling me that I can't have rice. I have to have a sweet potato because the sweet potato is going to change the way my body looks. It didn't even make sense to me. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense. So it wasn't until, like I said, I started to educate myself and learn the AB fitness method that, I was able to actually change things. So hustling too hard, I consider people who do cardio to get to their goals. They're pounding on. I mean, guys, how many people do you know that those people who run all the time, or they go to the gym consistently, but they never change the way they look? Never. I make progress year after year. And I'm no spring chicken. I'm not a young 18-year-old kid anymore. And I still am able to make progress year after year after year. And that's because I'm working smart. So by joining AB Fitness Center, you're working smarter, not working harder. The goal is to change the way your body looks, not to work out more. It was funny. I got into not an argument, but I was talking to somebody over the phone, and I'm like, oh yeah, the sessions were only 30 minutes. And the lady was like, 30 minutes? That's not enough time to get in shape. And my response to her was, well, is your goal to work out more, or is your goal to get in shape? And it completely stopped what she was saying, because she thought about what I said, and she's like, wow, you're right. It's not about working out more. So if you're going to the gym 6 days a week now and you're not getting results, what does that tell you? You're working too hard. You're not working smart enough. All right. Overcome number 3. Which method do I follow? You got keto. You do keto. Your friend lost 20 pounds doing keto, so keto must work, right? You do keto. Your other friend goes to Orange Theory. Getting great results at Orange Theory. Do I go to Orange Theory? Or Oprah's always losing Oprah's always losing weight and gaining weight back, but she don't talk about the gaining weight back. She's always losing weight. But Weight Watchers, right? Weight Watchers, another thing. A lot of people do Weight Watchers. It's that the way it works. I mean, people get results doing that, right? Well, what about that thing in the corner of your house? A Peloton that holds your clothes up. Pretty expensive clothing rack, right? Then you have this diet, which makes me laugh, the Optivia diet. This diet really makes me laugh. It's like $500 a month. They give you shakes, and you have one meal a day with protein and vegetables, and the calories don't change. I had a guy who was close to 300 pounds who was training with me at the time, and him and his wife were doing a diet. And I said, okay, so how many calories are you on versus, how many is she on? He's like, oh no, it's the same. I said, how much does your wife weigh? I don't mean to pry, but how much does your wife weigh? He's like, oh, she's 160. I'm like, okay, so she's 160, you're 300, you guys are taking the same calories. Does that make sense to you? Anyway, you have F45, which is the most garbage I've ever seen training, like not the training itself, but like the programming. Like we talk about the programming. I could tell you why we have bench press as the second exercise in our routine for the month. Theirs is literally random. They like spin a wheel and that's how they come up with the workout. Then you have the other trainers, right? You have maybe an online trainer, you have a trainer at Crunch, trainer here, trainer there. Someone that maybe just got certified who is not under the wing of AB Fitness Center and maybe gets their stuff from a magazine. I could say all this stuff because I did that. I worked at a Gold's Gym and I was running a staff of trainers, and my job was just to hire as many trainers as I can. And there was one trainer who would go into the magazines, get like the workout, would rip the workout out and carry the clipboard with the workouts on it from the magazine and would go around doing the workouts with people. Extremely frustrating. That's why it allows me to talk about these things with you guys today, because that will never happen because all of our trainers are trained by me. All right, so how did this happen? You get in good shape, right? Maybe you try one of those other methods and you get there and you get in good shape, right? But then you can't do it anymore. You know, something happens along the way and you just kind of give up. And you turn around and you're heavier. You're like, well, how did this happen? Why did this happen? So many people get results really, really quickly. And they think they could do it on their own. And we see it all the time. A 12-week transformation, right? People come in. I hate them. This is why we don't do them. This is why they are not a regular part of our marketing calendar. I hate them because it gives people the wrong idea. Yes, it's a good jumpstart for some people, and I agree with that. But some people do a 12-week challenge and then think they could do it on their own and stop and don't. And they just fall right back into the habits that they've had before. And I'll use myself as an example. My first contest, I went really hard for 12 weeks because I was getting on stage in a banana hammock, as the saying goes, right? I had to go hard. I was getting on stage in front of people. So I didn't eat anything. I wasn't tempted to do anything. As soon as the contest was over, 20 pounds came on overnight. 20. So it's because you didn't build up the skills and habits long enough to have results stick. There was another picture. I did a contest, later on. I showed the one with the medal, but there was another one that I did. And I was significantly leaner in this one, significantly leaner. I dieted for more time, but there was no difference in the diet that I did before and no difference in the diet I did after, because I built up the skills and habits long term. And again, now that I have those skills and those habits, they just keep compounding over time, and I get better and better and better results year after year. And like I said, I'm not a spring chicken, and I'm still getting the results that I want, and I want the same for you. And again, like I said, fitness is a lifelong habit and pursuit. You need to check the box every day. And how do we kind of build those habits, right? Now, you're already at a disadvantage. All of us, not just you listening to this, but me, Laura, everyone else on here is at a disadvantage. These are our early ancestors, right? The early cavemen, whatever you want to call them, cavemen and women. These are our early ancestors, right? So genetically, our bodies are engineered for gaining weight, right? Because in the past, right, Barney and Fred Rubble, they used to have to hunt for their food, right? So there'd be days when there was no deer or whatever they would eat around to catch. So they would go through these periods of kind of starvation. It was like normal. It was totally normal to do that. So genetically, this is where we came from. So genetically, our bodies don't want to lose weight. Our bodies want to do the opposite of that. So the history of starvation that shaped our genes results in our metabolism that is programmed to gain weight whenever possible, because it never knows when we're going to get our next meal. So it never knew when Fred was going to come home with Dino on the table to eat, right? You never knew. And the crazy part of this whole thing is we have this primal instinct to eat, because this is part of we have to eat like every other animal does. We have to eat. But problem is now is that when we eat, there's no signal to tell you to stop. right? Because again, genetically, we never knew when our next meal was going to come. Now our next meal is literally a tap on your phone away. And this brings me to my next point: calories everywhere. The McDonald's started, I believe, this picture could be totally wrong. I don't know, but it's just visual representation, so you guys understand what I'm trying to say here. But McDonald's had started, I think it was 1955. It could be wrong, could be earlier, whatever. But this was the size of like the burger in the beginning, right? It's like the basic cheeseburger in the beginning. And if you look at the size now, it's like 3 times the size. It's 3 times the amount of calories. I think when McDonald's had started, it was the same amount of calories as a Happy Meal is now. That's the calories in the hamburger then when it started. Now the calories are like 3 times the size. So you're telling me that genetically our bodies are predispositioned to store fat, and we have a high drive to eat a lot. This doesn't sound good. This is a recipe for disaster. So we're already at a disadvantage. So, which brings me to my secret number 3 here. The hidden key to getting lifelong results. It's education. Now, I could give somebody a workout plan. I could write the best workout program in the world, all right? And I could give it to you. And there's the fish. There's that old saying: you give a man a fish, he eats for a day. So that's a big fish. That's a little girl, right? Well, I don't have a little girl, but you get my point, right? That's a big fish for that one person. But that girl is going to eat probably for a week with that fish, right? Now, I want to take you under my wing here and teach you how to fish so you never need me to give you the fish. All right? That's important. So how do I do that? I do that with education. So this process begins right away as soon as you sign up at AB Fitness Center, because you get access to our nutrition course. I think there's like 40 something modules in there that I put together on nutrition, teaching you everything, right? In addition to that, you get that free. I sell that for about $1,000, right? You get that for free. You have access to a private Facebook group. I'm always sharing content. I probably put out, the amount of content I put out a week is a lot. So you guys should be consuming everything that I put out because it's designed to teach you something. I did one the other day on how to blunt hunger when you're hungry. Pay attention to that. Write that stuff down. Save that stuff. You know, give it a like. Throw a comment in there that helps, like the little algorithm on YouTube. But you can get the idea. Like, it starts right away. It doesn't start, all right, a week later. It starts right away because this is a lifelong process, and I want to educate you and show you how to do this correctly and teach you how to fish. So now, what's the X's and O's, right? What's the formula for getting results on autopilot? That's Noel, again, one of our most successful clients. But showing up and making all your sessions, making time for all your sessions, showing up early, making sure you get it done, checking the box. I never miss a workout, never. I've been doing this for over 20 years. I never miss a workout. It is so ingrained in me that if I miss the workout, it's like, how is that possible? Even when I'm sick, I still work out. Crazy. I mean, I have a home gym, so it's a little bit, I don't have to worry about like infecting people, but you get the idea. If you have an injury or something's bothering you, don't skip a session. Let us know. We could work around anything. Diane came in today and her back was hurting, but she came in. We worked around it. She came in, she checked the box, she did her workout, and she went. She goes, I'm glad I came today. I feel better. So don't miss. And I know I pointed to my home gym in the background, and people are probably saying like, oh yeah, it's easy for you. You have a home gym. No, I make it easy for me because I want it. You think I want to take up space in my basement? Well, I want to take up space in my basement to put this here. But, in an ideal world, I really don't want this in my house. But I make it easy for myself. I make it easy so I never miss. That's the key. You got to set up like those safe marks for yourself so you never miss. The next thing is to track all your foods, even on the bad days. I have the bad days too. People don't believe me, but I have the bad days too. But I still track it. I still throw it in there because I never want to get out of the habit of not doing that. And then it comes to that other argument that people have with me. Oh, tracking macros is not healthy to do long term. And neither is being overweight and unhealthy. Neither is being frustrated with how you look and how you feel. That's not healthy either. So I'd rather take 10 minutes it takes every day to log my food, to know that I'm making a deposit into something that's going to change my future. And knock wood, I think my future's pretty good because I've made those decisions. And I want the same for you. Again, I kind of mentioned this, but watching all of our content, anything that I put out, watch it, digest it. Why is he saying this? What do I have to do here? Should I implement this? The other day I talked about Quest bars and eating something else instead. That might be a video you go back and watch. But you just have to educate yourself on the right way. And the problem with fitness is there's so many different people who say so many different things, but not many people are able to show you their own journey that they went through and all the thousands of other transformations that they have made because of the journey that they had. Like I'm not opposed to a low carb diet. I think everything works for everybody in a certain way. As long as they kind of fit the framework that I have, I'm not opposed to putting someone on low carb, but I have. I've had clients before who their hormones just, didn't let them lose. So we had to do drastic things. I had a client who would have to fast for 24 hours. It was the only way we were able to get her results. Another client who would have no carbs and then would carb up on the weekends. Every person is different. And we're very flexible with our approach with everybody because you have to be. Because you have to be able to coach. But the same basic framework stays the same. Train, keep your diet in check, track your macros, track your calories, and that's it. That's how you get results and compound that over time. And hitting your daily step goal. That's very important too. Now, based on what we discussed, I want you guys to write in the chat what you feel like you need to do to step up your game based on what I talked about so far. So we're not done, so I want to see the chat bubble go. So what do you guys feel like you need to do to step up your game? I'm keeping you guys accountable. Let's go. Come on. Participate. Participate. If you guys don't know where the chat is, the chat's a little thing on the bottom. There we go. So Meredith said add more protein. Nancy hit steps. Cut back on sugar. Nice. Log better when I go out to dinner. Ride my bike in the hallway. Nice. Start working out. Track. Be accountable. Nice. All right, cool. All right. One of the things I want to tell you guys is this is a long journey. It is not easy. All right. There's, like I said, I showed the picture of Rocky getting punched in the beginning. It's not easy, right? There's always going to be some type of distraction, something coming up. So it's your job to aim to get 1% better every day. Now, what does that actually look like? So that in the beginning, it doesn't look like much. Like maybe in the beginning when you first start, the first thing you do is you come to your first session. Most of you know what that's like. You get crippled and it hurts to get up and down. And then the next time you come in, it's a little bit better. You're not as sore and so on and so forth. But over time, these things add up. And when they start to add up, you start getting better and better results. Like it exponentially gets better and better and better. There's a saying, I wish I had time to pull it up. I don't right now, but it's like if you save a penny every day, if you have a penny and it doubles every day, I think at the end of the month you have like a ridiculous amount of money. I don't know. I'll find it and post it in the group, but it's the same thing. All of these habits that we're trying to teach you guys and these things on this last slide here, if you guys do them every day, they compound over time. And compounding is the best way to get results. So that's what you need to do. And over time, you're going to start to see everything change because now you're not just logging your protein in, you understand why you're having your protein. You understand why you're going to the gym. And it makes much more sense as opposed to like, okay, why am I doing this right now? This makes no sense. Why am I doing this? Why am I having chicken right now? Like, at least all right, I need 150 grams of protein every day and I need to go to the gym and work out 3 days a week. Remember, the goal is not to get in shape. The goal is to get in shape forever, not just the next 30 days. So you do this by making it a lifestyle and aiming to get better every day. All right. So I wanted to address this because this is the question that we get constantly. Everybody thinks that their body's different. And rightfully so. You should think that your body's different. I think my body's different than most people, right? But it's not. Unfortunately, it doesn't work like that. And once you come to terms with that, it makes things a lot easier. So everybody always asks, they don't see the results that they want right away. I'm guilty of this myself. I showed you guys pictures of me in the beginning where I would give up and quit and binge on the chips and all that other stuff. But, you know, when should you actually make changes to your program, right? So this is how weight loss actually happens. This is a graph of one of our clients, and I thought it was a perfect visual representation of what actually weight loss looks like. And you can see there's ups, there's downs, there's downs, there's ups, but it's trending down over time. So while you might not see the scale move in the direction that you want to move right now, it doesn't mean you're not making progress, because scale weight doesn't mean anything anyway. But it's just a good representation to show you, like, hey, like if you look between May and August, this person basically stayed, May and August. This person basically stayed the same, right? But what happened during that time? Maybe they went away on vacation, they let themselves go a little bit, they took their foot off the gas. But if we look at over time, there's significant progress that's being made. So when do you actually need to make changes to your nutrition program, to your workout program? What's the answer? The answer that you're not going to like that I'm going to give you, that's the truth, is it really depends. It depends on a lot of things. Are you tracking everything 100%? Are you weighing the foods that you're having 100%? Did you give it enough time? Are you transitioning from higher carb to lower carb, to higher protein to lower protein? Are you, going through hormonal changes? Is your body different now? Like, there's a lot of things that factor into that. So the answer is it depends. And you have to have patience. Like I said, patience is it's very hard. It's frustrating for me too. Like, I'll be honest. It's frustrating for me. It's frustrating for Laura, because we look at everybody's nutrition and we know who, we know, okay, like this person really wants it. I feel bad. The scale's not really moving in the direction that it should be for them. And they're doing the right work, but it just takes time. And some people's bodies respond to things differently. Remember, we're not looking at the time we're looking at right now. So like, for example, if Laura and I are looking at somebody's nutrition program, we're not looking at really what they did the 4 weeks here. Like we're looking at what happened in the last 4 weeks. But what about what happened in the past 4 years? Like, we don't see that, right? And no one looks at that. But were you yo-yo dieting for 4 years before you went on our plan? Because if you yo-yoed for 4 years before that, that's going to F up your metabolism big time. So you can't look at these little snapshots. I laugh when people say certain things sometimes, because like, I'm not seeing progress in a week. That's a blip in your life. Like, that's like nothing. That doesn't mean anything. That's a blip. 7 days is not even enough to really see changes on the scale. So you have to keep in mind when it comes to, it's not that the program might not be working or there's something you're doing wrong. You have to look back at what you did prior and say, okay, is what I did prior screwing me up to where I am now? If you guys go on my YouTube channel and you dig, because I've been doing YouTube. I have had a YouTube channel for like 10 years or something like that. But if you dig to one of the earlier videos, it was after like the first or second contest that I did a video on how I ruined my metabolism because I gained so much weight post contest that it literally screwed up my body. It took me so that 20 pounds that I had gained in that first contest, it probably took me 8 to 10 weeks to take that body fat off, because my body was, again, going back to the Flintstones again, my body put on all that body fat that it lost because it wasn't comfortable where it was. Once I understood that and I learned how to get around that, I never had that problem again. So to answer the question, how often should you make changes to your program? It depends. If we feel it necessary to make a change to your program, we will. But if we don't think it's necessary to do, we won't. Because again, we're not just looking at these couple of weeks that you're looking at. We have to look at what you were doing prior. Maybe you haven't consumed this much protein and your body's still getting used to it. Maybe your body's gaining back muscle that you lost in the past. This is what makes fitness so difficult, because the body doesn't work the way we want it to work. It's not like, okay, I'm working really hard, I get on the scale and oh, look, I'm good now. It doesn't work like that. It takes time, and you're fighting genetics, and you're fighting all these other things. So hopefully that kind of answers the question here. And I wanted to be real with you guys on this one. I could lie and just say, yeah, we make changes to your program every 2 weeks because that's what we need to do to get you results. No, that's a lie, because if we did that, your calories at some point would be at like 900, and that's not realistic long term. And then you would end up crash dieting, and that's not good for your metabolism either. So again, to answer the question, it depends. All right. But you have to keep this in mind. Weight loss happens in reality slow. And that's okay. That's what we want. All right. Let's talk about some bonus stuff. I told you guys I was going to give you some bonus hacks. A lot of people have a lot of trouble getting in their protein. So I want to make it easy for you guys to get protein in. And one of the things too with this is not just about getting protein in, it's about quick meals. A lot of people are busy, right? Kids, school, work, don't have time, couldn't meal prep, couldn't this, couldn't that. So these 2 hacks are so simple. It requires no thinking. I came up with these things, so it requires no thinking. So it's easy, it's quick, because this is how I run my life, right? So protein bomb number 1, okay? So you're gonna go to the store. You're gonna buy these big things of Fage Greek yogurt, right? Fat-free Greek yogurt. You're gonna take one of these fruity. It could be a Crystal Light packet. It could be anything. It could be fruit punch, strawberry. I like the raspberry flavor. That's my favorite, but I couldn't find the Mio raspberry image to put on here. But take the packet or fruit punch, squirt it inside the entire container. You open it, squirt it in, mix it. It tastes just like a Dannon yogurt, like one of those little ones that are non-diet. It tastes just like one of those. And if you eat the entire container, it's 80 grams of protein. So if you're busy at work or you're busy at whatever, and you have no time to prep your meals, I put that in quotations, prepare your meals, all you got to do is take a packet, dump it in there, mix it up. Maybe you eat half of it. Now, okay, I had 40 grams of protein. And maybe those 2 things last you 2 days. You just leave it in the fridge at work or at home, and you have half one day, half another. Meal prep made simple right there. And then if that's the case, if you're going to have half, you're going to mix the whole thing and you have half and half. Like for me, I eat the whole container because I'm just busy and I just eat it in 2 servings throughout the day. That's usually what I do. So every week when I go to the store, I buy 5 to 7 of them and I leave them in my fridge. And then I just make them, it's like easy. I just take it out, squirt the thing in, mix it, and then I eat half, put it in the fridge, get back to what I'm doing. 5 minutes. All right, protein bomb number 2. Now, Quest bars. People love protein bars. Convenient, super easy. And I like Quest bars. I have nothing against Quest bars. They taste delicious. They're good. They're a really good snack. But it's just sometimes there's just not enough protein, right? If you're really busy and you have a hard time getting your protein, it's just not enough, right? And plus it has carbs and other fats in it. It's just, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not against it. It's not a bad thing. Sometimes it's just not enough. 20 grams of protein in a meal for some of us is just not enough. So what you're going to do is you're going to buy this block of cheese, okay? This block of cheese, 75% lean, right, which is good. So it's got really low fat, but it's got 9 grams of protein per serving. And I eat the entire block. The entire block is 72 grams of protein. So again, you don't have to eat the entire block, but even if you have half of it, it's 40 grams of protein. So if you have 40 grams of protein, half the block, it's about the same amount of calories as a Quest bar, but now you're getting 40 grams of protein, no carbs, and minimal fat. So again, and I make it very simple on myself. I buy 5 of them, I stick them in the fridge, and I just one a day. At 11 o'clock every day, I have my cheese. I open my cheese and I sit there and eat my cheese like a bar. But again, 72 grams of protein. I don't have to think. So again, easy. And I know a lot of you like cheese. So many people have asked me about cheese in the past. I'm not a cheese person, but these are actually pretty good. So I will say, if you're going to order them, buy them online. Stop going to the store, because every time I give you guys hints like this, they're never at the store anymore. I can't find them. I was telling somebody about the shredded fat-free cheese. Now, for some reason, I can never get the fat-free shredded cheese in the store. So order yours online so I can go to the store and keep buying mine, all right? All right, cool. So let's summarize this whole thing up for you guys, all right? So there is such a thing as skinny fat, and that was me, all right? So that's summary 1. The workouts needed for results are strength-based workouts. You got to lift. For ladies, you got to lift like a man. For men, you got to lift like a bodybuilder. In fact, all of you on here are bodybuilders. Yeah, I'm calling you all bodybuilders. Why am I saying that? Because if you want to change the way your body looks, you are technically a bodybuilder. So start training like them. Bodybuilders are actually ahead of the curve. They're ahead of science. It's pretty crazy, actually. They're ahead of science because they use their bodies as an experiment. So you have to start training in that way to shape your body for the direction that you want it to go in. Cardio is working harder, not smarter. We got to do something that's going to change our metabolism. That's strength training. Cardio doesn't change our metabolism. It's not going to be the thing that's going to push you over the edge. You're just going to be doing more work and yielding no results. The method needed for long-term success, it's not a magic program. It's not anything like that. It's your education. And look, I know you signed up for just a personal trainer, right? Like you Googled a personal trainer, or maybe you found something online of us and you just, okay, I just want to hire a personal trainer. But I want you to have results past 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 12 weeks. I want you to have results for life. And the way you get results for life is education. So whether you like it or not, you need to learn this stuff. So that's one thing I will tell you, you need to learn this stuff. Aim to get 1% better every day. So don't beat yourself up. And I talked about this on the last seminar. Don't beat yourself up if you're frustrated, or don't beat yourself up if you're not doing 100% of the stuff. It's okay. This is a lifelong pursuit. This is not something that you do for a couple of weeks and then stop. Okay? Aim to get 1% better every day. The next thing, don't panic and make changes too fast. Because as we learned in the hero journey, you'll keep going between starting, stopping, starting, stopping. We don't want you to do that. Continue to train with us so we can help you stay accountable and guide you like Mickey did for Rocky. All right? Remember, Mickey carried Rocky, showed him what to do, showed him who to fight, tell him how to fight that person. That's what you need in your corner. So you have us. Use us. Ask questions. It's never a bother. Trust me, we love it when you guys ask questions. We love it when you guys engage with us. Because when you engage with us, when you read our stuff, when you do it, we know you're learning. And if you're learning, you're getting results. And if you're getting results, you're probably going to tell your friend to come to us. So that's what we want. We want you to get results. We care about you. If I didn't care.
If you enjoyed this, drop a like, a comment, and if you are looking for a coach and a nutritionist, visit our profile. We would love to help you out today.